Welcome to the Global Real Estate and Entrepreneurship Podcast. This is Nicole Forrester, real estate broker and professional financial planner with eXp Realty. I'm excited today to bring to you one of our best, uh, Cheick Sylla from Dominion Lending, who's going to talk to us about his incredible journey to Canada and through our provinces and cities to bring to us some great financial education. Welcome to the podcast, Cheick.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be on here.
Well, I mean, it's so fantastic. One thing I do want to let people know is how we met, which really talks to what kind of person you are. It wasn't long ago that I had one of my listings and it was a hot listing. And Cheick called me on the phone as I was on my way to the open house to see if he could come and join me as a mortgage broker to provide value for my client, my seller client, and for the buyer clients that came in. He showed
Yeah.
up. We had a fantastic time. We helped many clients. We did an Instagram live and we totally hit it off
Yeah.
because as an old school broker, I love that action mentality that Cheick has, that he's not afraid to take the bull by the horns and to really get out there and help people where they need it. So thank you for that, Cheick. I appreciate you
Uh,
for that.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I felt really honored to get an opportunity for a realtor to allow me to join them. So I felt really awesome that day, and I even shared that story with my family and friends of how you made me feel so welcome and how I was able to provide some value to clients as well there. So thank you very much for that.
Absolutely. We did it old school and new school because we were there to meet the clients, but then we also did the Instagram live.
Exactly.
We could sort of reach out to others. So
Yeah.
you have such a brilliant story, a brilliant Canadian story of immigrating to this country with your family and resilience over challenges. Can you tell us a little bit about how you came to Canada?
Yes. So originally, I was born in Montreal, in Quebec. When I was born, after I was born, right, not too long after that, I went to Africa, and I stayed there for a little bit. So I kind of got to experience how life is being out there and how people live their lives. And I got to learn a little bit from my culture and where I come from, where my parents are from as well. And then after a while, my parents decided to move to Canada when I was approximately, maybe I'd say maybe 7 or 8 or so. We moved to Hamilton, and from Hamilton we went to Ottawa, and then from Ottawa we went to Kitchener, and now back to Toronto area. So we moved quite a bit there.
Wow. Okay. So it's your parents who were immigrants to Canada. You were actually born in Montreal. Um,
Yeah.
and then you went back to Africa. Now you are bilingual, are you not? You came from a French-speaking country in Africa, or your parents did, and so they decided to immigrate to Montreal. Is that right?
Yeah, so I live in not far from Montreal, Gatineau, which is a small city in the Quebec. It's right beside Ottawa. I went to school there for a little bit, and my first language is French. I actually had to learn English, so I'm very strong and dominant in my French, and the English kind of came second for me. But yeah, so my family's based out of we're French. That's our first language.
Fantastic. And what a wonderful thing, especially within Canada. It's such an asset as it's our second language here. And, it is so important to be able to deliver services in French and especially financial services in French.
Yeah.
What an asset that is, especially in the greater Toronto area where we're not dominantly French speaking. So that's wonderful.
Thank you.
So I know that you're servicing the Greater Golden Horseshoe right now, and you are with Dominion Lending.
Yes.
And I know that you really do champion your community in
Thank you. Yeah.
education and in the financial services. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, I'm a true believer of helping individuals, not just from my community, but I know from where I come from. Typically we don't get taught the financial aspect of things, and I've decided to instead of going the realtor route, to more come and learn about how the financial aspect of things work and understand myself how things are done properly. So what I try to do now is try to learn as much information that I can and try to provide that to individuals from my community, because I know a lot of them. Some of them are even parents that are coming here, like my own parents that immigrated here with at maybe 50 or 40 years old, that really don't understand how the system works in Canada, maybe, right? And I want to need somebody like myself to kind of help them, because I've seen, I've learned from my parents' mistakes, and saw how things were done. So I wanted to kind of go back to my community and just kind of give them, hey, this is the way that I would do things, and just kind of suggest them. I never force anybody, but I try to always go back and give back to that community, because I know that there's a lot of individuals that are looking or seeking for some guidance and some help. So it's an honor to be the gentleman that goes back into my community and helps them out, whether it's financially, whether it's with anything, just to be there supporting them and giving them some motivation. That's what I'm here for.
I love that. And you're definitely one of the people that you can hear smiling through the phone. And I just love that about you. And, I think that we are very much aligned in that, wanting to be a champion for our clients and very
Yeah.
much, doing that fiduciary duty and holding that near and dear to our hearts as
Yeah.
human beings, not only as professionals, that, it's our duty not to force information, but to share the information we have and allow people the dignity and respect to make their own decisions,
Of
and
course.
that they are correct no matter what that decision is, that once we
Exactly.
give them that information, we're not forcing it on them, but we're encouraging, we're their coach, but
Yep.
gently guiding them, but 100% respecting their decisions because they know best. Um,
Absolutely.
and I know that your background, I mean, 100%. My mom was an immigrant as well, so we know the immigrant story, but you particularly had some challenges in your youth that
Yeah.
really showed a lot of resilience at a young age. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. I want to share that a bit with the world. When I was 15 years old, I was in Ottawa at the time, just around turning 15, like maybe 2 weeks before, or so. But my father passed away when I was like about to turn 15. He died a couple days before his birthday, a couple weeks before his birthday. Sorry, and that really changed my life ever since. I knew that losing my father would, at a young age like that, I knew that it was gonna definitely change the how things are gonna happen into my life. I knew that I was gonna have to be very, very aware and be a young man at an early age. And that was not easy. It was difficult, and he left my mom behind and my brothers. I have two brothers, uh, and we had to just figure it out. We had nothing left, so uh, we were in a position that was not very, very good. But with our strength and my mother's strength, she's a very strong woman. We were able to figure it out. I know one day, just a quick story. We were in Ottawa. We were living at this place. The place is called Bayshore, and one day we ran out of time, and my mom tried her best. We couldn't keep up with the payments anymore, and they ended up coming in the in the morning and told us we had to respectfully leave, and that was very, very hard because we had nowhere to go after that. But I was able to. I was searching. I went to like a McDonald's, Tim Hortons, and searched up places where me and my family can go, and I was able to find something within like 24 hours. This gentleman, I was so young, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he really saved us. And he saved us a lot of trouble that day by helping us and letting us find a place. and we were able to move into a new place within 24 hours. We had to stay outside for a little bit, but that was just some obstacles that came. But I knew that this was to make me the man that I am today, and my brothers as well. So that was very a lesson, and I know a lot of people deal with things, and that was not a fun position to be in. But I can at least explain this one day to individuals, and hope that it motivates those individuals that are going through maybe hard times, or run to obstacles, and you just keep going, and I'm a highly believer of God, so I know He will come and help you out and give you the strength to keep going. So I'm very thankful that I got to go through that experience and made it out of it, because it was not easy, but I'm very happy for that.
You know what? God bless you and God bless your family. What tremendous challenge to go through, the sudden loss of your father, being such a young man, two brothers, a mother to sort of pull together, and then facing such a hardship of not having a place to live. Thank God for just a short period of time, but I can only
Yeah,
imagine the stress and the
yeah,
panic that you would feel. So to
yes,
now turn that into your hero story as you help others
yeah,
to find homes and shelters and flourish and educate them in finance is just such a brilliant
yeah,
turnaround from
right.
that moment. Um,
Mhm.
and we do share faith, and I believe that God is the great recycler, so that
Mhm.
He takes our hardships and our traumas, and He turns things for our good. And sometimes it takes a long time, but
Yes,
for you,
yeah,
you're still a very, you're quite a young man, and He
yeah.
has really, I mean, you can see the light of God in you 100%,
Thank
and just
you.
your heart to share with clients.
Yeah,
Um, and those who are in tough positions just makes you
right.
even more of a brilliant mortgage broker and person of
Thank,
finance. So we really
yeah,
appreciate you. And
thank
I
you.
know that many of your clients would appreciate the background that you're coming from.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah, it's
welcome.
yeah. Thank you for that. And I know, I know in this in the mortgage field, in the real estate field, in this industry, a lot of clients come with, buying a home is one of the biggest decision and one of the biggest move for somebody to make, because it's a big responsibility. But it also comes with the high reward at the end of the day, right? You're becoming a homeowner is very important. My parents, one thing they always wanted was to become homeowners, right? I know that that is a very important, to have, a family that you can build up, and you can have everybody there as a family together in a beautiful home that you can call it, that's your home. That's very important. So we deal with a lot of clients that, yeah, are dealing with a lot of stress, but they highly value what I provide to them, because it comes with some emotional support as well, and kind of giving them some inspiration to keep going. They can do this in the qualification process, because some of them are just end up like they want to give up, but we always make it happen for them somewhat, and they're very happy at the end. And I've helped individuals that were so thankful for the help that I provided to them, and it couldn't happen if they didn't have a little bit of faith in themselves, and we were able to make it happen. So it comes with a lot of support as well to the client, not just on the mortgage side, but it comes with that, showing them that you care and that you're there to help them as well.
Absolutely. And, that's just it. Emotional support as a human being. That's our
Exactly.
number one calling. Um,
Mhm.
outside of being professionals. And, you show a lot of wisdom and your experience when you talk about the stepping stones to home ownership. People don't realize that, you just don't show up with your down payment and buy a house. Sometimes that happens, but
Right.
times we work with clients for many years. First, maybe cleaning up their credit, you would be working
Right.
with them, and then showing them the components that go into qualifying for a mortgage so they can
Right.
reduce debt and increase income and then increase their down payment until they
Yes.
finally get to sort of my side of the equation after the pre-approval is done, where
Right.
then I start to work with them and we look at, well, we know you'd love a detached home, but how about we start with a condo apartment so that we get you building equity and then move to
Right.
your townhome and then move
Exactly.
into your detached property. So there's many
Right.
steps and
Yeah.
many years involved in
Yeah.
homeownership,
Process. Yeah.
and I feel that we're both committed, and it's just the way it works out for people that you do have to let them know they're not the only ones.
Mhm.
It's not like on TV. We're not selling sunsets, and
You're right. Yeah.
that's just not realistic. I remember my uncle saying that about medical shows as he was a doctor. He's like, we don't solve things in an episode. Like, that doesn't,
Right.
and very much real estate and finance is that story as well. It's many steps and many
Yeah.
years and many conversations, um,
Yeah.
and many hand holding and telling
Right.
stories so that people don't feel badly, because
Exactly.
it's a human experience, and it
Yeah.
can be great, but it's also quite emotional.
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
Now, I know you're a great athlete. Did you want to comment a little bit about your basketball career? I know that's near and dear to many young people as well.
Oh yes, I'm very very into fitness and staying fit. I believe that that comes with who we are, and it fulfills us, right. I think being active is very important because you need to feed that to your body and eating healthy and all that stuff. I don't eat healthy all the time now. I'm not going to sit here and say that, but I believe that staying active is important. So um, I used to have this dream to go to the NBA, and I was very young at the time, and I played basketball for almost all my life, but things didn't end up working out for me. I played high school basketball for my high school competitive in Ottawa, even in Gatineau, in Hamilton. I played basketball, so my brothers played basketball as well. My eldest brother played soccer, but basketball was a big thing. So luckily, I was in Toronto. I met this coach, and he helped me. His name is Jay. He helped me go to a prep school in Las Vegas, and I was able to play with some unbelievable talent over there. And a lot of people don't know this part, but I was playing with at Trinity Trinity Prep in Vegas. We played across all over across America, and now some individuals that we face in high school are actually in the NBA now, and they do pretty well for themselves. And it was an honor to get that opportunity to go down there. But I eventually got to a point where my knees were starting to bother me, and I couldn't really play as I wanted to. I couldn't stay on the floor as much as I wanted to, and things just didn't end up working out. But the experience was fun, and that's a story that I will never forget. That I got to be there for about maybe almost a year or so, and it was wonderful.
That's awesome. And yeah, competitive sports is so interesting, and it is a story that is a common story of injuries and bodies
Yeah,
giving out a little bit here and there, as you
right.
move up, even as a superstar within your own
Yep.
right, because getting to
Yeah.
that level of competitive sport is, so rare even, and it
Yeah.
takes so much discipline.
Of course.
But showing that, once again, God being the great recycler, that you use that discipline and that experience to, keep you active in your life physically. And it taught you discipline, and it taught
Oh
you
yeah.
how to practice. And we know
Yeah.
that in sales, it's a lot of practice, it's a lot of discipline, it's a lot of filling that pipeline. So it really did put you in good stead for
Yeah.
sort of where you are now. And being a mortgage broker, being a realtor, these are competitive businesses. If
Oh
they're
yeah.
they're famine, if we don't produce, we don't eat, right?
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly. Yeah, and I used that. That's a very good point. And most importantly, I learned a lot of discipline down there. I was before I went to I wasn't as disciplined, but after I came back from there, I was a different man. And we used to wake up at like 5 a.m. to go train and to make sure that our coach wanted to make sure that we were on top of our games, and because we were playing against the best in the country, really in America. So it was very important for us to keep that at the high level. So and that resonate with even in the business. Doing your work and staying disciplined is not always easy, but it's important to learn those things because it will take you the long way for sure.
Absolutely. And I think I mean, dare I quote Kobe? I think he was the one that said that he had more practice time than everybody else, that he wasn't
Yeah.
so greatly skilled, although I think he was quite greatly skilled, but
Oh
he
yeah.
practiced double what everybody else practiced. He just
Yeah.
did double the reps that
Yeah.
everybody else did. So,
Yeah.
from an entrepreneurship standpoint, these are what our big producers are in our businesses. They're people who get in more reps,
Yeah.
making more contacts, and they're just front loading their reps rather than dragging them out. And they're
Yeah.
gaining momentum. They know the power of gaining momentum.
Of
And
course.
then working on one skill at a time. That's also something, right? Like one shot at a time, one move at a time. And that's
Yes.
also how we develop as professionals as well. So
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think that it kept you in good stead. It was a good lead into being the entrepreneur that you are and
Right.
the broker that you are.
Yeah, and I was while still being there, I was still being an entrepreneur. I would sell chips with my between my friends, and we would try to sell shoes with each other, and we were just trying to make money. So we were finding the way because we're so occupied in basketball. But the entrepreneurship was it's always been in there. So we all enjoyed doing that, like selling each other the chips for how much you want each, and $2, $3. But it
Awesome.
was still something for us. So that entrepreneurship was something that was always there, and I loved that.
Always a salesman at heart. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. Um, so we have an announcement coming up June 5th. Do you want to talk to everybody about that?
Yeah, like I've made a video on my Instagram and on my TikTok. There's a big announcement coming on June 5th from the Bank of Canada. We're expecting, right now the rates were, it's in the 5% ranges. We're looking to go, and my predictions are that the Bank of Canada is going to come on with something favorable for everybody, with around maybe the 4% ranges that we're hoping. That way that they can cap it at the 4%. That way we're not, locking in people, because right now clients are getting locked in maybe around the 5% ranges. But we can also do a rate buy down, which can help them to get into that 4% range stretches. But without needing to do the rate buy down, if we go to the 4% ranges, that will help clients tremendously, because right now there's a lot of clients that are waiting on the sidelines and actually waiting for the Bank of Canada to come with some updates and some news. So I'm really hoping, and I finger crossed, I know that they will come with some mercy for everybody, and try to get that lower into the 4% ranges, which I have really high hopes for.
That's excellent. And I love that sunny forecast. I too have great hopes that, well, they did say last year that by second quarter, they would start to lower
Yes.
overnight lending rate. And this is the last announcement that we have in second quarter. So we're
Yep.
gonna we're gonna have that optimistic outlook that they're going to start to do that. But as
Of
Cheick
course.
said, even if they don't, he's got buy down options for clients, and he's
Oh
got
yeah.
great options for clients. But we do, as an industry, as financial professionals, expect them to start lowering this rate. They had promised by second quarter, and that's sort of, we're coming to the end of second quarter now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's all hope that that's what they do. And we know that in the Greater Toronto Area and in the Greater Golden Horseshoe, that as the interest rates decrease,
Yeah.
we've often, and in the last decade, we've seen that what that equals is buyers increase, right? So we will see, the likelihood is that if that rate goes down, that we're going to see those people sitting on the sidelines decide that we've seen the bottoming of the prices, um,
Yeah.
signal it's time to start moving. And in Canada, you need to start moving now if you want to close in time for school, which is
Yes.
all been a huge thing in Canada as far as how our cycles run with winter and things of that nature. So,
Yes.
Cheick,
Yeah.
where can people come to find you, to talk to you about their renewals, about
Yeah.
pre-approvals?
Yeah, so they can contact me directly to my number. It's 437-344-1585. And I'm also on social media at Consult with Cheick. And you can find me on TikTok as well, Consult with Cheick with the French guy. On TikTok, I try to mix it up and speak French for my French clients and also in English for my English clients. So I try to make it even there. So you guys can reach me, and I'm sure there'll be like a little descriptions on how to reach me also on my social media, and my number and all that good stuff will be on here.
Absolutely. So I'll make sure that all of Cheick's information is on these when we release this podcast. And I just want to remind you that Cheick is actually qualified to provide mortgages all across Canada. Now he
Mhm.
is local, so he is servicing the Greater Golden Horseshoe. That's where he's located. But in this day and age of electronic wonders and
Yeah,
working in the cloud, you can meet with Cheick on a Zoom call like this. You can
yeah,
electronically pass information, and he can
yeah,
service your business all across Canada.
of
So
course.
he is bilingual, and clearly he can speak French and French finance very well. And of course, he is fluent in English as well. So Cheick is your man, and you want to check him out for sure. Thank you so much, Cheick, for sharing your story today. We appreciate you, and we
Well,
look forward to that rate coming down.
oh, absolutely. And I just want to say something for individuals and clients out there. Please don't let rates hold you back, guys. If it scares you, please just give me a call, and we'll have a quick discussion and talk. And I'm sure you guys will feel much more confident after you have a conversation. It just takes the action and the step to just have a conversation with me, and I'll be here to help you. And through DLC, we have a lot of options to help you guys. So, and we have access to a lot of lenders that support us all times and support you guys, the clients. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'll be here. And Nicole, as the realtor, she's also here to help you guys and to help you navigate through this market. So please don't hesitate to reach out to both of us.
Thanks so much, Cheick. I appreciate that sunny outlook. And we're going to end with a sports quote that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And that's Greg
Exactly.
who said
All
that.
right.
So
Yeah.
Cheick is here. He won't bite you. He's very friendly. And really, it's just
Yeah.
checking out your situation to see sort of what's next for you. So don't hesitate. Thanks so much for coming out today, Cheick. Appreciate you.
Well, thank you very much, Nicole. I really appreciate it.